Today on ZZZ Made Easy, I want to talk more about Astra, specifically her double support team alongside her fellow Ether agent Nicole. We can call it the Astra-noNicole team. If you'd like a full breakdown of Astra's kit, I've made a full getting started guide covering mechanics, builds, and other teams if you're interested. I have links in the description and the end card. This video will assume you know the gist of Astra's kit. The double support team composition isn't a new idea, people have been doing it for a long time. Basically, we pick two supports with varying buffs, and then one main damage dealer to be the star of the show. One reason Astra can work nice in a double support team is that she won't be involved in any swapping. This leads to less confusion, and you don't need to bring Astra out onto the field to buff up outside of her ultimate. She's also able to give a quick assist from your damage dealer to the second support. It's a very fun way to play the game. Now, why do I like the Astra plus Nicole setup? For one, they are 2 of 3 total Ether characters in the game currently. Nicole is actually a decent Ether anomaly applier, and Astra can help build up a little more. Astra can even trigger corruption at any time with her attacks. More corruption triggers means extra damage, and against specific enemies, the corruption trigger can stun them, which is nice. As for buffing, these two bring different skill sets that have comboed nicely together. Astra gives a large amount of attack, some bonus damage percent, and then a little bit of crit damage. She also has healing and extra chain attacks from her ultimate. As for Nicole, her bullets and energy fields shred enemy defense. Thanks to Astra being an Ether agent, Nicole's additional ability will also grant bonus Ether damage. With Mindscape 6, Nicole also increases crit rate. At full power, the Astra-noNicole team can provide 1200 attack, 20% bonus damage or 55% Ether damage, 40% defense shred, 15% crit rate, and 25% crit damage. The downside is that Nicole's debuffs are lasting for a short duration. They can be extended if the energy field keeps ticking on an enemy, but you're gonna want to save your big damage moves for when Nicole is ready to debuff. It is worth noting, Astra and Nicole buff each other. We'll always take some extra damage when we can get it. There is more to this support duo. Since Nicole has her own quick assist on EX Special, Chain Attack, and Ultimate, she can contribute to the Astra Voice 4-piece drive disc set. Even if you mess up Astra's buff timing, Nicole can always give one stack of the buff. This can apply to activating other quick assist triggers such as from Starlight Engine or Nikomata's core passive. Thanks to the separate ultimate system, Nicole has an extra energy field move, but she also gives energy to the main damage dealer. More EX Specials means more damage. As a reminder, Astra's ultimate does not give energy unlike our starting supports. Since Nicole is free, if you get Astra you can try out this team. That doesn't make it the best comp automatically though. Zenless Zone Zero is a lot about feel when it comes to agent playstyles. I don't think this is the absolute best team for everyone, but it's another way to play the game. Just to list some downsides, the Astra-noNicole team with a damage dealer is going to be under a lot of pressure. No stun, no shields, and you can't swap too much or you potentially won't buff your damage dealer. If you want full uptime on Astra Voice, that's another timing worry. In general, Astra teams require a little thinking or you might end up buffing Nicole over and over. You can wait for Astra to get enough energy for 2 buffing swaps, but then you can't bring Nicole in earlier for debuffing. For another issue with this Ether duo, it's that additional abilities may not get activated. The launch cast mostly rely on same faction or same element conditions. Soju 11 is an agent that would love all the field time this comp provides, however, she won't get her extra fire damage additional ability. If you want to run something like DPS Sokaku or really any non-standard DPS agent, chances are they won't get additional abilities. Newer agents who ask for support allies can get around this, but it is a slight bummer for the starting cast. Last issue also pertains to teams. We are still early in ZZZ's life cycle and Astra is the first limited support. If we use 2 of our supports in one team, you may not have any suitable supports for your second Shiyu team or the third Daily Assault team. There are buffing agents not of the support class such as Caesar, but we've mostly been getting spammed with new damage dealers, another reason why Astra will be a pretty valuable pickup for the future. We've gone over some pros and cons, now let's talk about who that third team slot can go to. I talked about the Astra-noNicole team briefly in my guide, but the main reason I'm making this video is that I spent more time using it with Yuan, aka the full Ether team comp. All 3 Ether agents in the game honestly work together very well, and while I don't think it's the best team, by God can it work. First off, with the power of 3 Ether agents, corruption happens fairly often. Anomaly Master Nicole does a lot of the heavy lifting, but with Astra and Yuan, you can get a good amount of uptime, which means Yuan can benefit from the 4-piece Chaotic Metal drive disc set. If you're using Yuan with something like Hormone Punk, for obvious reasons, Astra is a terrible ally due to all the switching. Now in terms of buffing, Yuan was already really good with Nicole, especially M6 Nicole, and with Astra you add a ton of stats Yuan was already building. Nicole plus Astra is a 55% Ether damage boost, which is crazy, and that's while Nicole shreds defense too. This occurs for a short duration, but Yuan is by design a burst DPS agent. She can unload most of her damage while Nicole's energy field is up. The main issue is that Yuan's on-fielding capabilities aren't the best. Her basic attack string is a little dangerous, and her dodge counter is very short, so you gotta be ready for repeated use. She can dodge when transitioning with her ether shells, but that's not an easy timing. Yuan also doesn't reload the most shells with just basic attacks. It's extremely fun, but you gotta be locked in against hyper-aggressive bosses. One tip I have for this team is to utilize Yuan's perfect assist. It's an evasive assist which triggers vital view. That slowdown gives her some time to set up for ether shell spam. Since Nicole can charge your EX special, if you can time it right, you can hold Nicole's special and then wait to perfect assist an incoming hit. Nicole will fire her energy field at the same time Yuan does her follow-up assist, and then you can go into her combos. Very satisfying, and doing this loads 3 ether shells. The trade-off is that this isn't a quick assist, which means you're not going to proc Astro Voice. The full ether team is surprisingly fun, but what other agents fit this type of team? I actually do think the remaining Cunning Hares quite like this setup. All of their addition abilities will trigger from Nicole. Astra's longer lasting buffs are nice for Billy, but you might need to re-enter Crouching Shot a little more often if you swap a lot. One benefit is that Astra can give Billy extra chain attacks to empower his ultimate. For Nekomata, she's the only agent I don't own, so my experience with her is limited, but I have tried her out in the creator beta server, including with this team. Nekomata's core passive is going to be ready immediately, either from Nicole or Astra's quick assist. Since her EX special is on a low cost, you can also just save multiple uses until Nicole's debuffs are ready. In regards to Anby, I threw on some Woodpecker pieces and Lycon signature, and surprisingly, she did quite well. Not breaking any damage records, but a good example of what the Astra-noNicole team can enable. Even without building extra impact, Anby still has naturally high daze values. She can get her own stun faster than a normal attacker. A little preview of what Silver Soldier Anby could potentially do, but I don't know if her addition ability will work for this comp. DPS stunners are fun since you're already on fielding with a few of them, but losing their addition ability may hurt. Lycon's basic attacks all deal ice damage, but you're not going to get his extra daze multiplier. I think this is an okay trade-off, but for someone like Lighter, his addition ability is his main buffing ability. Losing 50% to 75% fire damage for himself is kinda not great. In regards to anomaly agents, Miyabi actually builds crit stats. Without Mindscape 1, Miyabi is intended to swap after applying Frostburn. However, Miyabi is so dang strong that you can kinda just brute force it with pure crit damage. Since Miyabi's Shimotsuki allows for swapping to another agent, Nicole can come in to debuff while the attacks finish. This swapping to Nicole while still attacking is going to apply to Evelyn, who at this time isn't out yet. Evelyn can do chain attacks outside the stun phase, and like Miyabi's Shimotsuki, she allows you to swap early. Evelyn's chain attack damage is concentrated in one big hit at the end. This gives Nicole time to get the debuffs active. In general, Evelyn will excel with Astra and is an agent who wants field time to put up to her chain attack. Her main damage move allowing Nicole to come in and debuff is just perfect, and I don't think you can get a better teammate grouping than this one. Astra and Nicole have pretty great synergy, but what other units can fill a similar role? I'm looking for an agent who has their own quick assist, has complementing buffs to go with Astra's buff assortment, and doesn't take up a lot of field time. Lucy and Sokaku have quick assist, but they mainly buff attack like Astra. That leaves us with Rina. Pen ratio buffs quick assist and can apply her buff instantly similar to Nicole. Rina's buff timer is slightly longer than Nicole, but you can need Mindscape 1 for a much more noticeable uptime. One benefit of using Rina is that her evasive assist won't eat up time, and Rina's follow-up grants her buff immediately. If you perfect assist parry with Nicole, her follow-up does not apply her debuff, and Nicole may get knocked back multiple times, which will waste your time. Evasive assists are almost always ready to activate, whereas some attacks cannot be parried with defensive assists. Additionally, evasive assists only cost 1 point, where the parry may cost 2 against big hits. Rina opens the door for different addition ability triggers. Now we can access electric element conditions or the 3 Victoria housekeepers. Now Lycon can go get his addition ability, and same goes for both Ellen and Corin, who are actual attackers. Hopefully the takeaway from this video is that the Astra-noNicole double support team is something worth trying. It's unusual and I wouldn't call it super OP, but Astra fits perfectly as a pillar of a 2 support plus 1 main damage dealer team. Sure, you can replace the free starting agent with the new limited option, but you can also use them together. Add in Yuan and the full ether team surprisingly does alright. It's something different, a little challenging, and pretty flashy. At the end of the day, as long as you can clear the content you want, any setup is fair game. That's all I have for this video. Hopefully you got Astra if you wanted her, and check out my getting started guide if you want to learn more. We'll also talk about Evelyn in the near future. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.